Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is required by the Home Rule Charter that we present a budget message. We're very happy to do this, but please keep in mind it's a work in progress. It is by no means the final draft. I'm actually thrilled today that we have Dave Balzoni with us, our new CFO. That'll be an important part of how we finalize this budget. With that, I'd like Chief Jeffers to read the message.
Okay, we'll read the message and then we'll take
Questions.
okay? This is the County of Lackawanna's 2023 budget message. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes from an unexpected occurrence, so too has our community. With the turning of the calendar of 2022, Lackawanna County slowly began its recovery and restart from the safeguards put into place when the pandemic hit 2 years ago. Despite the variants and other related maladies, the commissioners and staff began to get back to the business of business. Economic development activities, the long-awaited reassessment, family events, the July 4th celebration, community art projects, and a host of other programs were scheduled to reset a policy of normalcy, but with safety in mind. During the pandemic, the commissioner's main goal was to save lives through testing, vaccination clinics, and education. During January and February, space was rented in the Steamtown Movie Complex for a makeshift testing and a vaccination distribution site. And contracts were approved at the local pharmacy to provide vaccinations for the homebound. Regular and booster shots were also provided at the Government Center for staff. One of the first pieces of legislation coming out of the COVID freeze brought an end to nearly 60 years of lopsided tax rates. On March 2nd, 2022, the majority commissioners passed a motion authorizing a property reassessment. On May 18th of this year, the majority commissioners also approved a $5.1 million contract with Tyler Technologies of Moraine, Ohio, to handle the project. Manpower was added to the assessor's office to get more people into the field tracking land, buildings, residences, and businesses to include on the tax rolls. To explain the process and alleviate concerns, the county and Tyler conducted 3 in-person meetings throughout the area and 1 virtual session. The Tax Claim Bureau received approval to incorporate $35 registration fee for all county tax sales. This will provide an opportunity to qualify bidders prior to the sales and to also help defray administrative costs. Economic development has always been at the forefront of the Commissioner's agenda. Expanding the tax base, creating jobs, and diversifying the business base remained top priorities. To help get businesses rolling again, the Recovery Loan Program was amended to include operations. Another program created was Get Connected, an e-commerce activity for all types of services, sales, and operations without person-to-person contact. The area's nonprofit sector took a huge hit in operating capital during the pandemic. To help them, the county's nonprofit COVID-19 response grant program provided $1.1 million to 56 organizations utilizing ARPA funds. Also, several redevelopment assistant capital programs, the RACP grants, were prepared to further assist organizations and businesses with the necessary funding for large-scale job creation projects. Several multimodal grants for new bridges and road repairs were also done along with the longstanding Community Reinvest grants. The spring allotment funded 27 projects for $132,172. Human Services form the core of the county government. It is the reason for being in business, to serve the needs of the families, the elderly, youth, and those battling addiction, anxiety, and mental disorders. In early 2022, the county received notification of its share of the opioid settlement. A total of $9.7 million will be used to offer various initiatives and treatment for recovery. The county also entered into a sales agreement to purchase the ultra-modern building in downtown Scranton for $5 million to house its Department of Health and Human Services. Along with state designation, this combination will form the perfect arrangement to care for people and serve as a vital resource for information on how to combat viruses and other maladies. Being independent is vitally important to older adults, but sometimes they need a little help from a family member when living alone. The Area Agency on Aging addressed this by collaborating with Johnson College, a local manufacturer, and community agencies on a very innovative solution: Elder Cottage Housing Opportunity Units, ECHO units. These standalone homes can be placed on the property of a family member with arrangements for utilities and other necessities and this is a win-win for everyone. Strengthening and enhancing the recreation and leisure amenities at the county's 4 parks was another highlight of the past year. The Scranton Ballet Theater once again held an outdoor performance in the confines of Covington Park. Consultants were enlisted to recommend upgrades and safety measures for McDade Park and the coal mine tour. Other contracts were approved for general recreation needs and the new McDade Pool and Splash Pad. Grants were prepared and submitted for $1 million for the McDade Pool and $400,000 for the park splash pad. A contract was awarded for the Wi-Fi upgrades and video cameras installation at McDade Park. The safety of any community is vitally important for its overall quality of life. The commissioners are well aware of this and provided the necessary finances to accomplish that. The county received a counterterrorism grant for training, supplies, and manpower for top flight protection. The government center has the latest badge access technology to enable staff to work after hours and on weekends in a safe environment regardless of the personnel on duty. Keeping Mother Earth pristine has also been a priority. Grants of up to $1,000 were available to municipalities for electronic recycling, keeping the roadsides and wooded areas litter-free. The heart and soul of any area are fed by the arts and culture, and Lackawanna County is no different. The pandemic hit this segment very hard, causing some entities to cease operations. The Arts and Cultural Department did its share by providing COVID grants to organizations totaling $36,500. Its traditional program and project grants were also distributed to longstanding and new organizations. 29 program grants were given out totaling $184,500, as well as project stipends amounting to $80,000. Several community art and mural projects were announced to beautify the area, stately buildings, and green space. A design contest, the Penn Avenue Mural Project, was initiated to brighten the back of the Government Center to showcase the area's industrial history. Beautifying the building was organized to warm up the interior of the building with a variety of mediums created by local artists. The IT group has always been on the cutting edge of technology with state-of-art systems and equipment. That trend continued with advanced workflow management programs. The department also maintains stringent network security regulations to protect the county's operating infrastructure and securely store sensitive system-wide documents. The county also redesigned its website. The colorful new look provides individuals from across the globe easier navigation to find the information they need, along with up-to-date data on community events and easy-to-complete request forms. Along those lines, safeguarding the confidentiality of one's vote is imperative in today's environment. An election security grant was approved for the voter registration office, providing programs, training, and other resources for voter confidentiality. Our nation's and community's veterans are the reason for the freedom we enjoy daily. They fought to end injustice worldwide, many making the ultimate sacrifice. Now it's our turn to give back. The commissioners did so with 2 important pieces of legislation. They have passed the real estate tax exemptions for non-wartime veterans and surviving spouses who served and became injured or disabled. A real estate tax exemption to the surviving spouse of those service personnel killed in the line of duty was also approved. The county's debt position. The county has always been able to mitigate its annual expenditures for debt service by taking advantage of favorable interest rates when possible. The county will continue to be diligent and also seek other opportunities to restructure its long-term debt. The county's financial policies of 2023. In 2023, the administration will once again be conservative and demonstrate fiscal responsibility, restraint, and management when addressing the county's financial stability. The administration will continue its commitment to addressing the constant challenges facing county government on numerous fronts, especially in the area of its workforce. Personnel-related expenses comprise 69.55% of the county's general fund budget, net of tax transfers out. The important features of this budget: the 2023 general fund budget includes no property tax increase. Many man-hours went into the preparation of the county's 2023 fiscal blueprint. Its goal is service to our 216,000 residents. The budget also reflects no cuts in programs that our communities and people need. The budget also contains provisions for our parks, human service programs, aging initiatives, environment, and spraying for gypsy moths and black flies, while also monitoring other pests. We continue to meet the challenges of an ever-changing society by doing more with less in a fiscally responsible manner. It is vital to secure public input on this financial plan. The budget hearings are the perfect venue for residents to provide the commissioners with ideas that they can review and implement where possible, and to help cut expenses further and generate additional revenue. The cost to run county government and its various programs is substantial. The prime example is the prison. A great deal of revenue is annually expended for staff, programs, medical treatment supplies, and other ancillary services. This is part of our mission, and we will continue to do so as efficiently as possible. Along those lines, the county was adversely affected by the pandemic, just as other businesses were. In both 2020 and 2021, due to the reduction of revenue from department fees, the hotel tax, our parks and other attractions and special events, the county experienced a significant shortfall in finances. Expenses soared during the period at the prison and other departments, along with increases in contract obligations and general operations. Unexpected emergencies also impacted the county's fiscal situation. The county is focused on recovering from this hit. While it does not raise taxes in 2023, the administration will do its due diligence to reduce spending even further before the budget is passed. It is intent on finding solutions to the overall deficit and curb future shortfalls in revenue. This is the county's reason for major financial policy, expenditure, and revenue changes from 2022 budget. Due to continued pressure from shrinking federal and state funding, collectively bargained wage and benefit increases, and rising law enforcement costs, the county's 2023 budget will exceed the 2022 budget. During 2022, the county was able to capitalize on a significant surplus in its debt service fund. Since the county reduced the debt service fund surplus, the county will need to transfer additional funds from the general fund to the debt service fund in 2023. As previously noted, the human service area continues to be the main priority of the programs offered by the county government. In addition to that sector, emergency response, the court system, and other vital functions will comprise the majority of the county's 2023 expenditures. The budget's overviews. In 2023, the general fund budget's totals are $150,794,713. The 2023 debt service budget total is $19,491,313. And the 2023 special purpose funds budget totals $86,428,014. This budget message is respectfully submitted on this 14th day of October 2022 pursuant to Section 112-1203 of the Lackawanna County Home Rule Charter. I would like to add very quickly that I would like to thank Mary Jo Granahan for an extremely hard job of getting this budget prepared and the continuation of cutting the deficit. She deserves all the credit in the world. You can open it up to questions if you don't have it.
Yep, thank you, Mary Jo, again. It's a long road to get to this point, right? Anyone have any questions?
Boris Crouchanyuk from the Scranton Times-Tribune. For years, the the county has enjoyed a very large surplus. Can you talk about what that will be at the end of this year and how much of that you'll use in the 2023 budget to avoid a tax rate increase at all?
I think, Mary Jo, what is the surplus going to be? Do you predict it at the end of 22 or 23?
22. And then 23 also.
Yeah.
The exact number I don't have. I had calculated it roughly at about 10 million.
Okay.
For the end of 2022?
22, yes.
And what is there, how much at the end of 2023? Is there one?
Well, until we pass the budget, I don't know that we'll have it.
I don't think we'll be able to predict that right now.
Well, Boris, we're working on, this is an ongoing process, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get very close, if not to a balanced budget, and without touching the surplus this year.
Are we using any of the surplus to pay for 2023?
We're not indicating that we're going to use that right now. What we're doing is trying to cut the $8 million down. I think we could probably get down to $4 million if we try really, really hard, and then we'll come back to that.
So you have $8 million more in expenses right now than revenues? Is that what you're saying?
Right now, we're looking at an $8 million deficit. What we plan on cutting that down a minimum by half.
Okay. And if not, if you can't, so you can't get it down all the way?
We're going to try to get it down all the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the answer to that is
here's the problem at hand, and it's a realistic problem, is since March of 2020 up until December of 2021, I think everybody's aware of, everybody went through the pandemic together. we've lost roughly around $12 million in revenue, which is a domino effect that keeps going continuously.
That's revenues you didn't collect, not
Revenues we did-
surplus you used.
That is correct. Revenues that we lost from Trolley Museum, coal mine tour, inmates out of county at the prison, all the factors, court fees, everything you could think of that was shut down during the pandemic and then sporadically opened in 2021.
And the monies we spent to, to deal with the pandemic were out of the county budget this past year.
Right.
County never closed down, unlike, a lot of governments, government agencies. We were open from day one. We weren't like other government situations.
If you get it down to 4 million, the 8 billion, you're still gonna have to tap that surplus, right, to balance.
Well, we
the
don't
budget?
know that yet either. That's still up in the air because now some of the funds provided by the federal government may be able to be used.
Yeah, but they're
for-
one-time money, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
it's a
it was
surplus.
one-time expense to prepare this building and keep everyone working at the same time, too.
But the reality of it is that since we lost all that revenue over the years, it's been a domino effect. But the revenue has been starting to pick up again, not just pick up, it's been going up significantly
Right.
in 2022. So, we're hoping that this
Right,
gap
and-
could be closed in '23.
Right, and you mentioned it here that, you have continued pressure from shrinking federal and state funding, collectively bargained wage and benefit increases. You have a bunch of new contracts that you
Right.
signed this year. That's gonna add to your spending next year.
We've already placed that into the
Right.
budget. That's
Oh,
already been
okay.
placed in there. And I think that we've got some really good, fair CBAs in place. I think both the unions and the administration negotiated those contracts in a very good and fair manner. They're happy and we're happy. So, I think that things are looking up as far as the revenue coming in, and I think that our CBAs are in pretty good place.
But don't we have a situation where only a few years ago, we were over $20 million in surplus, and we're now headed for under 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm good.
Anyone else? Ricky in the back, you have any questions? No? Okay. That's it, Commissioner. Unless you guys want to have.
Well, I just want everybody to know,
Thanks.
we're going to continue working on this every day. Mary Jo, we have Dave here now. Dave Balzoni is on board, so, we have use his expertise on getting closer to balancing the budget. We've tightened our belts just like everybody else. These are tough times we're in, and it's been tough. So I think we're on the right track. And I'm sure we can get darn close, and especially, I don't want to have to touch that surplus again. That's just going to help our bond ratings moving forward. So it's going to take a little bit of work, but we're on the right track, and we're working on it very, very, very much every day. So
I agree, and again, thanks, Mary Jo, and the fact that we have Mr. Balzoni here with us now, that will definitely be helpful. Commissioner?
No, I think we have, I already talked to Mr. Baldoni, and I'm looking forward to working with him and going through the budget like I did last year. It's very overwhelming, throws a wrench in it. It's trying to figure out what departments need when you have COVID kind of right at 2020 and also affecting 2021. So it's hard to get it's not under normal circumstances where you can just go back and see a graph of how much they spend on a particular item, because no one has ever accused me of being quiet because of COVID. So it is a process, and I'm excited that he's here, and hopefully we'll get to work and hopefully be able to. From my perspective, I don't believe that the burden should ever be shifted to the residents by way of a tax increase, as long as there is fat, for lack of a better word, on the budget or expenses that can be cut. We need to work to do that, as opposed to shifting the burden, even though we're not doing it next year. But I mean, in the future, I think that the budget needs to get tighter. And I'm hoping our new CFO can help all of us do that.
Okay. Very. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.